Hello everyone, and welcome to your first tutorial on object-oriented programming. Through this 6-video series, you will be going from knowing nothing about object-oriented programming to knowing how to do inner and outer classes, learn the 4 pillars of OOP, and very much learn about modifiers as well. So, without further ado, let's get started. In this module, we'll be focusing on creating a simple class and making objects out of them. So let's create a new Java class by right-clicking the package and hovering over new, and we create a new Java class. So let's represent any real-life object. Like let's just say a book. So a book here will have a very few properties, and the properties should be the very first thing here. So we have a title. So we have string title here. So of course here we are going to give it a title, so such as Lord of the Rings. I'm just guessing here, but anyway, we need the number of pages, so I do int num pages. I'm using camel case for the variable declarations, and it has 421 pages, even though I don't think it doesn't. And then of course we need the author, which I don't even know, Jones McDowell. I don't even know who actually wrote Lord of the Rings, but this should give a good representation of fields. So now we should be able to run this code, but first we need a main method. And there we go. Now let's create an object. So creating an object is very simple, because creating an object is kind of like defining another variable. So we can just do the name of the class, and the second word will be the name of the variable. So in this case, we'll do lowercase book. And then we will set this equal to a new book object. And of course, we're going to talk more about constructors in the next video, but for now, we're going to worry about how we can access each of the properties here. So we're going to print out book.title. So we should eventually get Lord of the Rings. After running, here we go, we got Lord of the Rings. If we did num pages, then we're doing 421. And if we did author, we should get Jones McDowell. Here we go. Now, of course, what if you were to print the entire book instance? So in this case, if you ran it, you will actually get a string representation. In actuality though, chapter 01 is the package name, book is the name of the class, and then this will be @ and this will be some sort of hash code. And of course, it is very creepy, I should say. Instead of going along with the hash code, however, we can redesign this string output of the object. So we can use what is called the toString method. And this method is declared as public string toString. And obviously, make sure you get every single word right. Make sure there are no parameters. And in IntelliJ, you see that you are overriding the toString method in object, which is why you do not want to reduce the visibility. If we reduce the public visibility, then we get an error saying that toString clashes with toString and object. Attempting to assign weaker across access privileges was public. Okay, so that's why we need the public in there. But since this method is a string, we need to return a string. So we're going to return the title, book title, plus, and then we have this title, plus \n number of pages, plus this number of pages, or this num pages, plus \n author, colon, and then plus we do this author. And then of course we're doing a plus as well, so here we go. If we print out book, we should get a much more organized representation. There we go. We got the book title, number of pages, and the author. So of course, this is how you create a simple class, basically. However, this method of making classes isn't really efficient, and we're going to go more into this in the third video. To show an example of how inefficient the setup is though, we can just set the title of the book. So book.title equals, then let's just say Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And then of course, if we try to print out book again, then we see that Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is being printed out. But sometimes you don't want things to be changed via the main method, or just changing the instance variable by itself, usually without permission. And that's when encapsulation is going to be useful. In the next video, we're going to be talking about constructors and how they are used to make objects of a particular class. Anyway, if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and part 2 will be coming out shortly.